What would happen if I woke up one morning and unfortunately I had lost absolutely everything in my business? What would I do? Would I struggle? Would I succeed? In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I would do with a 4-phase plan. I hope you enjoy this one. The first phase of this plan is to increase my income because I've lost everything, which is not good. And I am kind of laughing because it's kind of like a funny premise, although it's really not funny whatsoever. So touch wood. But anyway, let's say I did lose it all and I had to rebuild. So what I always would do is I would start with income, because the biggest mistake I see on videos like this on YouTube is people talking about, immediately / expenses. But that goes without saying because you've lost a lot. So the real key is to flip it on its head and to focus on making more money right away. Now, how would I do that? Well, for me, I've learned a lot of high income skills over the last number of years. Things like email marketing, things like presenting webinars, launching products and services for companies, and so much more. I mean, I probably can't even list all the skills that I've picked up over the years. I don't even think about some of them as skills at this point. But for me, what I would actually focus on would be email marketing. And the reason I'd focus on that is because it's actually an area that's underutilized in almost every single business online right now. So specifically what I would do is I would go to my network and I would find people in my network who have companies that teach people how to do things, or they're e-commerce companies selling things to people, and they're already somewhat successful. Then what I would do is I would opt into their email newsletter by going to the website, putting myself onto their email list, and I would start to see what are they sending out to their audience, if anything. What you're going to notice right now actually is that in e-commerce specifically, there's a massive opportunity right now to become an email marketing specialist for e-commerce businesses, because they don't email their customers. But the reality is that is where all the profit is in a company. So I would go to these companies, I would find exactly what they're doing, and I would start to see where they could be adding in emails to their business in order to make a lot more money. Now, one of the most specific things that I would do for these businesses then is, if let's say they're teaching somebody how to do something, right? They're teaching someone how to, to get clients on Facebook or something like that, right? Well, I would then go into that business and I would see what are they selling right now and how are they promoting it? Are they promoting ongoing? Are they not? And if they're not, what I would do is I would craft a 2-week sequence to promote that offer to their audience again, to people who haven't bought their program. I would then also create a 2-week email sequence that would be emailed out to their customers to sell them some extra coaching or something like that. In that way, I would get quick wins for that business. I would make some money because I would actually negotiate a profit share from the whole deal that was done, maybe 20-30% of the profit, because I can't negotiate anything higher because I'm kind of in a bad situation. So I would negotiate that, I would take that on the gross, and that would be what I would do. I would make quite a few $1,000s doing that with at least one company, and I would go to maybe 2 or 3 and do the exact same thing. Okay, I'm going to keep this really, really short because I know we're going into some action-packed steps today. I want to ask you a question. What is a side hustle that you've been looking into or you've tried before? Let me know down below in the comments. So a side hustle you might be tried before, or one that you're considering. I'd love to hear, because if I see enough people talk about, say, email marketing or something like that, I will do more content specifically on that. So let me know in the comments, or even let me know if there's something you've heard me talk about today you would love more information on. Just type into the comments right now and like the video on the way down. All right, back to the video. Now, the second phase is I would then start to look at my expenses. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you look at that first? Well, as I mentioned before, it just makes sense to me to increase my income first, and I would say it's the same thing for everybody watching. Then what I would do, as I say, is I would cut down my expenses. I would look at what my monthly burn rate is. And what's the burn rate? Your burn rate is essentially how much money it costs you to live your life every month. What are your expenses, like your rent, your gas, your food, kids, all that kind of thing. I would figure out that number for me, and I would make sure that I could take that number down to the level that is really comfortable for me, but also it's taking it down to a level where I'm not wasting money and stuff like that. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's going to help me move into phase number 3. So phase 3 then is to create more income streams, right? So I've already established one partner, like I talked about earlier on. Maybe it's an e-commerce store or it's someone teaching something. I'm running ongoing promotions with that company now, and I'm getting a profit share. If I couldn't negotiate a profit share, I would negotiate a retainer. As a matter of fact, that is something we actually do here at Marketplace Superheroes with a small number of clients. The reason for it is we actually enjoy doing it. We like to see companies grow, and also it's important for us to get results in other businesses at the exact same time as our own. So we actually do this right now as you're watching this video. But anyway, I would negotiate more of these relationships now so that I have maybe 3 or 4 happening at one time. I could actually run 3 or 4 of these clients on my own if I really had to, because it really doesn't take that much. Because let's say I was building web pages for them, I would use ClickFunnels, and I would use ClickFunnels templates. Then my emails, I've got my email template system ready to go. So all I'm doing basically is filling in the blanks in my email template system. So I have 3 or 4 clients, and I would estimate each of those clients I could be making anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 each. So I should be making 30 to 40 grand a month now. Problem is though, I have absolutely no time, because all I'm doing is working on 3 or 4 companies at one time, running all their campaigns. That is a lot of work. And so that brings me now into phase 4 of my master plan. Let's take a look at that. So phase 4 is I would increase my income streams again. So and I would move my income streams. So what I mean by that is that right now, what have we done? Well, we've been working with a number of clients. I've been doing all the work. Now what I would do is I would actually start to identify team members who can take over specific roles for me. So in this example that we've been talking about today, the first person I need to hire is an email marketing specialist. I have to hire them and start paying them. I'm going to pay them, it all depends, but it's probably anywhere from 2 to 10 grand a month, 2 at the very low level, 10 grand at the kind of more very, very high level. It's probably going to be somewhere in between. So I'd hire that person. I'd hire a funnel specialist as well. That's somebody who can make all the web pages that I need ongoing for these different clients. And the next person that I bring in like a manager, someone who can bring all of this together and run it. So I essentially have a small marketing team now that I'm heading up, where I have an email marketing specialist, a funnel specialist, and I have a manager. And that's going to be really enough for me to do everything that I need to do in order to keep my income going. Now, I can't stop there. I can't just keep on doing client work all day, because that doesn't make sense. So what I have to do now is I have to reestablish my business. So what I would do at this point is I would start to share my journey of building this company back from complete scratch. I would start to share what's working with my clients on like YouTube. I would also start to build an email list as well. So I would have a new website. I'd have an email list there where I'm building up and up and up, and I'm telling them what I'm doing. I'm documenting the journey along the way. That starts to help me give value back into the world again. It helps people follow along the journey and see what they can learn from the journey at the same time. What I would then do at that point is I would actually establish some affiliate marketing relationships, because I'm not selling a product at that time, because I've actually been building the service to get my income back. Now I would start to think about who are people out there with products and services that I can affiliate with and I can promote to the audience that I'm starting to create with this new website that I have. Now, how would I build the actual audience for the website? I do it in a number of ways. Number one, I would go out and do podcasts, something I would absolutely do. I recommend doing. The second thing I would then do is I would start putting some money onto like Facebook advertising and other advertising as well to start building up an email list. I would offer a free giveaway for those people, showing them like, here's the specific tools I'm using right now to help my clients generate X number of dollars per month or whatever. So I'm starting to rebuild my life, rebuild my audience as well at the same time. Now you're probably thinking, why have you not talked about Amazon FBA yet? And that's for a very good reason, because in my specific example, like I would jump to the bigger incomes first, build my team, rebuild my kind of audience then. And at that point now that I have some money coming in every month, I've got my team managing it, we're probably adding in more clients, we're starting to make some money through affiliate marketing, I would start to consider building a program at that point, because that's obviously the business I'm in. But I would also be considering now in the final phase adding in passive income streams. So you might say, well, affiliate marketing is passive. It is in some ways, but a lot of the things I'm talking about are active, like I'm doing promotions, I'm doing webinars and things like that, talking about programs. Now I would start to build in my Amazon products again, because at that point in time, I've got plenty of capital where I can start to actually fund my Amazon products. And I know that they're not going to like necessarily go mental from day one. It's going to take a little bit of time for those to kick on. So I'd only bring them in at the very end in this particular example, simply because I couldn't bring them in at the start, because relying on an Amazon income stream, like to replace your income, it's just not a good place to be. Myself and Robert, actually a number of years ago, we were there. When I started working with Robert, like we had to restart the business. I've talked about this before. We had to find lots of products very, very quickly, and we had to find enough that was going to actually replace our income at the time. And there was a long time I was making about £750 a month I was paying £475 in rent. So the better situation, but I didn't have those skills back then, would have been to do what I'm talking about today. But I didn't have those skills back then, so I had to make do with what I had. But you can actually pick up from a lot of stuff today. Like number one, if you're not making the income that you want to make right now that's going to fund your Amazon business, what is one high income skill that you could identify, that you could learn, that you could then bring to the market and start making more money with? Then you start to ask yourself, who are people that I can start building a team around over time to actually offer this service at a bigger level? Three, you got to start thinking about, well, how can I get a profit share from the businesses that I'm going to go and operate with? You should always be looking for that as much as you possibly can, because if you just charge per month, it's a pretty tough situation to make more money. You're kind of stuck at an income level or an income cap. So what you could agree is a base amount of money, and then if we hit certain profit objectives, you can actually make more money from that. But the big key here is you got to be in a situation where you've got a skill that you're bringing to the market that you can make more money from, and then you use that money to fund your Amazon business. Now, if you're in a job right now where you're making a decent income and you're funding your Amazon business slowly, that's absolutely fine. I'm not telling you to go quit your job and throw it all away. Definitely not. But what I am telling you to start to consider is like putting more capital into your Amazon business to make it grow that bit faster. Because if you're in a situation where you've got $1,000 and that's all you're going to put into your Amazon business, it is going to take a long time for that to grow and replace and turn into an income that is passive but is also significant. So that's the plan I would look at. And some other kind of ideas then, you're probably seeing that active income actually feeds passive income. And that's something I don't really see people talk about. Everyone is obsessed with passive income, but in order to get passive income, you have to have active income that'll enable you to buy things that will create passive income. Also, if you're not buying things to create passive income, you're probably seeing from my example, if you can build an audience, you can make that somewhat passive, because as my email lists grow in our businesses and I start to share more programs and services with that email list, that is somewhat passive. I don't have to talk to each of those individual people at one time, and we call that leverage marketing. So you got active income, creating passive income, and then you're always looking for more leverage opportunities. I know that sounds a little bit complicated, but you know what I mean. You probably understand the concept by now. Leverage is absolutely critical and something not a lot of people talk about. So to wrap up today's video, I say you're probably noticing a common theme, something I talk about all the time, and that is skills. Skills are incredibly important, because if you're in a job like I was a number of years ago where I was working at a low level, not making a lot of money, I was constantly looking for, how do I break through the ceiling? How do I get to a higher income? How do I get there more quickly? And the real key is you've got to learn skills that you can put into a business that can make somebody more money. And when you can do that, you will be paid so much more that you can ever possibly imagine. So look, I hope you enjoyed today's video. This was a very simple look at what I would do if I lost everything. It doesn't obviously necessarily apply step by step to you and your situation, but I hope you took away a lot of the highlights from today, a lot of the ideas, a lot of the thinking. And the one big thing I want to stress today is do not just go and quit your job randomly and start selling stuff on Amazon. It is not a good strategy. Get yourself into a situation where you have active income that can help you create passive income. Also think long term. That's incredibly important as well. Don't be thinking like, where's my Amazon going to be in 3 months? Think where's my Amazon business going to be in 18 months, 24 months? That's the kind of thinking that's going to help you make a lot more money with this. It's going to help you make an income that literally does generate while you sleep. And I know that's what everybody's looking for. That's what I was looking for as well when I first started here. You absolutely can get there, but you've got to get capital, put it in there. And of course, over time, the real key is going to be when you get your products that are winning and are working for you, get somebody else to fund those products so that you can keep on bringing in new items with the money that you've freed up from having, say, a bank or someone like that actually fund your winning lines. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this one. Please do smash a like for me. And I mean smash it, break your computer. No, don't break your computer. Smash a like though, it would be absolutely great. Also, please give me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of today's video. Let me know what was your biggest takeaway. I would really appreciate that. And as always, if you have not subscribed to our channel, click the subscribe button and that bell icon so that you will see when we put out more videos. We're now putting them out 3 days a week. So make sure you click that and stay tuned for more videos on the channel. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.